Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined alongside Jack Weinberger and Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia. Producer Zach not with us today, but he will be back because football is right around the corner, boys. You can start to feel it in the air, can't you?
I can smell it too.
I know.
I can smell it in the air too. I wake up and I smell it in these fall mornings.
There's a football game on grounds in just a couple days here. I won't be at it because I'm going to be watching Notre Dame instead. But
what time is UVA at 7 o'clock?
UVA is at 6. Notre Dame's at 7:30. It's like an hour between where I live and the stadium. So
Who's UVA? Who's the opener?
It's Richmond. We're 20-point favorites, and it's the only time we'll be home favorites all season. Miserable.
I got my Big Ten gear on, the Michigan State shirt, Wisconsin hat. I got a spotted cow in hand. I mean, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I mean,
did I hear correctly that there's going to be a cap of the week in this episode?
There just might be a cap of the week in this episode.
That's when you know football is back. People say lots of things. When there's a cap, that's when it's back.
The fans got to stick around.
Gosh, that is a great part of football being back. The cap of the week. I might say our signature segment on this show is the cap of the week.
Hey, I was 9-4 last year.
Yeah,
after starting 0-2, I believe.
Journey for what, 13-0 this year?
Maybe 12-1.
12-1. Yeah. Give yourself a little bit.
12-1, but 13-0 would be great.
As you're drinking a Spotted Cow, you know, if anyone knows people from Spotted Cow, I would love to see a Spotted Cow sponsorship for this show for the 2024 NFL season. We are big Spotted Cow fans, and you know, if we don't have a sponsorship from here on out, I guess we can't give out any more free advertising.
I'm also trying to win back some fans who might dislike me here with the Wisconsin Badgers hat too, and the Spotted Cow. Yeah.
I think Packers fans love you because
it's the Bears fans.
Yeah, it's the Bears fans. You hate Caleb Williams. You drink their products.
Oh, well, the Bears can screw off.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack's just preparing for the Wisconsin drinking contest that he's got coming up.
So
these guys will be shocked.
Today's episode, we're season predictions today. Always one of our most fun episodes. Last year, I believe it was last year, right? We had Ariel Epstein on, Jack's friend, former coworker. And we had a fun episode with her, but today it's just us season prediction. Yeah, Ariel's like, I'm not coming back on this show.
Well, no, you know what she said? Last year, I lost my first cap of the week. She said, if you hit this, I'll come back. If you lose, I'm not coming back. And I lost.
We didn't ask, so we didn't get denied. But you have to imagine she was like, thank God these guys.
Yeah, thank God they didn't ask.
We also asked Jordan Love, but his agent said that he wasn't available, even though he'd really like to come on.
Jordan Love could be on the show.
Yeah, apparently Love wanted to come on, but
Jordan Love. If Jordan Love came on the show, I'd wear a cheese hat. That might be just about it. But for Jordan Love, yeah, I would wear a cheese hat.
I'd do most. I'd show up naked on the freaking show.
Would I wear a cheese hat?
I don't think Jordan Love wants to see that.
Nah.
True, you're right.
I don't even know if I'd wear a cheese. No, that feels like you're too immersed in Green Bay Packer culture. So anyway, season predictions today. We're going to go through the divisions very quickly, share our final standings. Super Bowl champion Jack will give his cap of the week. But first, we're going to have a few questions that we want to answer about the upcoming season. But before even that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Remember, you can always become a member by going over to our channel homepage. If you're on mobile, it's kind of tricky, but if you're on mobile, go to our channel homepage. Then the bottom right of your phone, there are 3 dots, right? All right. You see those 3 dots? Click that. Yeah, the 3 dots. Click that, and it'll say request desktop version. And if you click that, then you'll see join next to our logo where you can become a member. That's if you're on mobile specific.
You can also just follow the link in the description, right?
Well, that takes you to the channel homepage. I don't know why YouTube makes it so hard to become a member. But if you're a member,
they're just keeping us down.
Yeah, if you're a member, you can join our Pigskin Pick'em Challenge, which is we're going to do it throughout the season. Just pick the winner of each game. And every 4 weeks, the winner of that individual week will win a T-shirt from the show. And the ultimate winner of the entire season will get a PFS merch bundle. I mean,
we have to change the rules about that real quick.
Oh,
the person who won the most that's not on the show, because I'm going to be first every single week.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know.
If no one can beat you, Ziggy, I don't think anyone deserves merch.
I'm probably finishing last now that I've said.
Well, you deserve merch. Actually, Ziggy should.
No, if nobody beats Ziggy, I don't think anybody deserves merch.
Yeah, well, Ziggy gets merch. That's that.
All right, well then you got to beat Ziggy in order to get merch.
Yeah, you got to beat Ziggy.
I mean, whoa! I almost said something. People who know will know. All right. So what else we got here? And last thing, listen on audio if you can't catch us on YouTube. Ziggy, you'll get. I'll tell you off screen what I almost said. Okay, so why don't we jump into it here? The questions. First question. We have 3 of them before the predictions. Who is the biggest threat to the Chiefs' three-peat? Doesn't have to be AFC. It could be NFC as well. Who's the biggest threat? Either of you guys have one off the top of your head?
You got any Ziggy or no?
I mean,
I think there's a lot of threats.
Yeah, I have
but
mine. I just figured.
I have mine too.
I'd give you first go.
go for it, Jack.
Well, I think it's the Steelers.
Oh, geez.
No. I'm joking. Well, I'm down to three teams. Down to three teams.
Well, what are the three, and then pick one?
Well, for me, it's the Bengals, the Niners, and the Cowboys. But I'm probably going to lean towards the Bengals. I think Burrow's the second best quarterback in the AFC. He's beaten Mahomes before. Nobody else has. So I'm just based on that alone. I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
They've proven they can do it. Like nobody else has. Like Baltimore hasn't. Buffalo hasn't. So I'm going with who I believe is the second best quarterback in the AFC. Plethora of weapons. He's healthy again. Cincinnati.
How about you, Ziggy? Biggest threat to the three-peat?
I think the biggest threat to the three-peat is not actually in the AFC. I think the Chiefs have run the AFC and will continue to run the AFC. I hate saying this, but I think it's the Detroit Lions. In all seriousness, you look at how this team operates, right? The way Dan Campbell plays football, it's like they are designed to beat the Chiefs. In order to beat the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are just as good or better than you at almost everything, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to have an efficient, effective offense, and you've got to have a defense that can generate turnovers. The Lions have two of those things in place. I think they'll win the division handily, and I think that the defense is going to improve, particularly the secondary. So given the fact that all the Lions have to do is win one game against the Chiefs, and I think that they've got a real opportunity to make it out of the NFC this year, I think they're the biggest threat.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I'm thinking the same thing here. It's the AFC. Kansas City's kind of beating everybody at this point, and they continue to do so. The defense is awesome. I'm looking at Detroit or San Francisco. So if you went Detroit, I'll go San Francisco. I was watching a panel of NBC people discuss this just like a day or two ago, and no one said the 49ers. Afterwards, they mentioned San Francisco, but I don't know why this team is getting a lot of hate. People seem to just keep bringing up, Purdy can't operate if he doesn't have the weapons. Then the weapons are getting older.
He made the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, they made the Super Bowl, and they weren't even playing that well in the playoffs. Like they beat a red hot Green Bay team. They made the comeback against the Lions, all while they weren't even playing peak football. So I look at the 49ers as maybe even the team to beat in general this season. But I was going to go with the Lions had you not said them. So I think those two NFC teams are the ones who can get Kansas City if they are to get back to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I thought personally the Niners had that Super Bowl one. Were they up? They were up by 6.
And they played horrible too.
And they didn't play well, but they were up 10-0 to start, right? Then they had a 6-point lead late.
They fumbled early. They had the punt return.
Was there a muff
fumble.
punt?
Yep, they muffed the punt. Yeah, there's a ton of things went wrong, but you know what? That's the thing about Mahomes is whenever he has the ball at the end of the game, and I know Ziggy, I think we've argued about this before. I can't remember. Maybe when we're talking about like clutchness or something. But when Mahomes has the ball at the end of the game, he scores.
Except when he throws an interception, except when he's not able to get the ball down the field. If you only look at the times he's won, yeah.
Okay, most of the times when he has the chance to win the game, he wins the game. Most of them. What do you think? What are you thinking about the top of your head? The
Bengals game when he just threw an interception.
Yeah, I think that's like the one. Maybe the one time we've seen that happen.
I feel like the Niners more so gave that Super Bowl away.
Yeah, it was a bit. I actually just rewatched not the entire thing, but I watched the 20-minute highlight package of the Super Bowl, and the first 3 quarters were pretty boring. There wasn't much happening, and then at the end, it got going. So let's see the second question here: which player are you most excited for the 2024 NFL season? This could be for a variety of factors. Someone you think will crash and burn, someone who will emerge, someone on a new team that you're looking forward to. I wonder who Jack's gonna say.
I'm going to say Russell Wilson.
Shocking.
We just announced him the Steelers just announced him as you
could say we.
Yeah, we just announced him as our week 1. Well, I don't play for the team.
Yeah, but you're a season ticket holder. You get letters from the team, Christmas cards.
Sure. I am part of the team. You're right. So we just announced him as our starting quarterback for week 1, which comes as a surprise to nobody really. But I'm excited for Russ and a new offensive coordinator. And just seeing what he does in black and gold.
All right.
Seeing if he can get us to an AFC North crown, perhaps. I'm excited to see Russ and CJ Stroud.
Optimistic.
I'm excited to see CJ Stroud too. Like, want to see how he handles all this hype and if he can be better or just as good as last year.
Can he carry that over?
Yeah. So those two, Russell Wilson, CJ Stroud.
How about you, Robert Ziggy Ziegler?
For me, it's hard to pick a player other than Josh Allen. Things have gotten worse around him, and he's going to be asked to shoulder more. And we've seen that Josh Allen is one of only a handful of players in the NFL that can be a one-man offense. Right? If you put Josh Allen out there historically over the past few seasons, whether Stephon Diggs has played or not, if Josh Allen is playing quarterback for you, you will have an effective offense. But he's also never been asked to do this much before, right? The offensive coaching has gotten maybe a little bit better, but it's not super exciting. On the other hand, like, he's lost weapons. He lost Stephon Diggs. He lost Gabe Davis. So I'm really excited to see what Josh Allen is going to be able to do this season when so much is going to be asked of him in a division that should be very competitive.
We said it before too. Josh Allen, one of the nicknames he has is Superman. If there was ever a time for him to actually have to perform like Superman, it's going to be this year. And you know, I'm not going to be the one to doubt him. The guy I'm going to go with, I'm wearing the shirt. It's hard to see. See that?
Captain Kirk.
It's
Captain
not
Kirk
hard
Cousins.
to see.
Yeah, Captain Kirk Cousins.
He's on number 3.
I can't wait to see what Kirk does with the Falcons. There's a lot of hype around this Falcons team. A lot of people are predicting them to win the NFC South and potentially, you have like 11, 12 wins even. That could be, that's better than a 4 seed probably for Atlanta if they're able to do that. I kind of doubt the defense a little bit. I mean, I know they're getting better. They made some acquisitions, but if Kirk plays anything like he did last year before getting hurt, there's no reason to believe this offense shouldn't reach heights it hasn't seen in a long time since Matt Ryan days, really. And then you kind of start to wonder, all right, where can Atlanta fit in this race in the NFC? Are they with good Kirk Cousins? Are they on the Eagles and Cowboys level? With they're probably not on the Lions and 49ers, but they could be competitive. So I'm excited to see Kirk in his new home in Atlanta, even if it does sting me a little bit. And the last question here before the predictions is, which team is getting too much hype right now? It doesn't necessarily need to be a top tier team, but who's someone who's getting a lot of hype for this upcoming season, and you're saying, okay, slow down a little bit.
I don't really want to say what I'm thinking.
You can say it.
Because I got myself in the good graces.
Oh, no.
I got myself in the good graces of these people with the Wisconsin hat and the
Just say it.
the spotted
You
now. No, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the Packers. I'm going to say the Texans. I don't want to say Green Bay because I'm rooting hard for Green Bay.
Insult our number 2 fan base. Yeah, sure.
All right, fine. I'm going to say Green Bay.
Just say the truth. Say what you think.
I'm rooting super, super hard for the Packers. I mean, I'm a Jordan Love guy. I want to see our show take off. Like,
Can we get Jack off the show?
Like, I'm on the bandwagon. Unlike these two Minnesota fans, I'm not a Minnesota fan myself.
Yeah,
so
I'm not on the bandwagon.
Yeah. So I'm rooting for these guys, but I think the hype is heavy right now. I think you'd be nuts to say it's not, right? I mean,
there's a ton
can I
of
just say, like, Jack comes out here and says, I don't want to insult Packers fans. So he puts in a 1-minute monologue about how they're his favorite team in the NFL. He's a huge fan. He wants Jordan Love to be the best quarterback ever. And then just throws in a little, but maybe they're a little overhyped. We know what you're doing, Jack. We can see right through you.
Now Bears fans hate me and Packers fans won't be a fan. That's not good.
You find a way. You always find a way.
I'd say Green Bay is receiving a little bit too much hype right now for having a second-year starter.
I mean, I think you are. With the Packers, too, you're hoping that there's a huge transformation on defense. And while that's definitely a possibility with the additions they made, anytime you need a positional group or like a side of the ball to go from terrible to decent or pretty good, that is a lot to ask in one off season.
How about you, Ziggy, the overhyped team? You said you had a bunch of them.
Yeah, I've been beating this drum all offseason. We don't have to be afraid of offending this fan base. For me, it's the Baltimore Ravens. I know, they're near the top of the NFL in win totals. They've got Lamar Jackson, undeserved but nevertheless defending MVP candidate. They've got an exciting offense, and that's true. But no team lost more players this offseason than the Ravens. They lost 15. They lost a bunch of coaches. The players that they have kept continue to get older. And while I know all of the losses weren't huge and they drafted guys to replace them and the Ravens have typically done pretty well, it is hard to lose 3 starting offensive linemen, your most productive edge rusher, your leading touchdown rusher, the NFL's runner-up in interceptions, the Pro Bowl inside linebacker, your defensive coordinator, a bunch of other defensive coaches underneath them. Like, they just lost so many pieces that I think there's a real chance this team regresses. Now, of course, they've gotten a little bit healthier. They've added some more players, but they're third in Super Bowl odds right now? And it's hard for me to see a team that has historically struggled to do much in the postseason after losing this much, turning it around.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. But we'll see in the predictions where you have Baltimore. You've been down on them from literally the start of the offseason on. So kudos to you for holding on to that. I'm not sure I could get behind.
They're a bunch of dirty birds.
I would actually say that the two LA teams would be my, like, all right, slow down a little bit. Not that there's a ton of hype around the Chargers this year with Jim Harbaugh coming in.
I think there's a fair amount of hype, honestly.
There's hype, and they should be better, but I also, like, I'm not expecting a playoff berth. I actually think they might be in line for like 7 wins or so. But the Rams is the other one, and that's the team that I want to focus on, because last year we all thought they were going to be horrible. I remember we were looking at the top 5 teams most likely to get the number 1 pick, and the Rams were there at 4 or 5 on the list. And right away we could see, okay, this Matthew Stafford, like, this is good Matthew Stafford. And then the Rams just kept getting better. Puka Nacua emerged, Kyron Williams emerged. The defense, they found a couple rookies who took on a bigger role than we expected. And they were really good. Like, not just good. The Rams were really good last year. Had they beat Detroit, I think they would have beat Tampa Bay and probably gone to the NFC Championship game, which is crazy. So coming into this year, a lot of people are starting to talk about them maybe even beating the 49ers and winning the NFC West. I'm saying slow down. I think this is a good team, but I think they regress a little bit and find themselves around that, like, 9-win mark. And if are fighting for a playoff spot, frankly, they're not going to win the division. Like, they're not beating San Francisco. So I'd say slow down the hype there. We're still relying on a lot from Matthew Stafford. And remember, Aaron Donald's gone too. So, like, the guy is gone from that defense. And that's a huge replacement. Ziggy knows that as well as anyone, as a former Rams fan himself. So,
well, I wonder if they might think that internally too, because just today they traded team captain and leading tackler Ernest Jones for a 6th, 5th pick swap with the Titans. So, like, and I get this is like classic Les Snead, right? So I wouldn't read into it too much. But if they genuinely believed they were a Super Bowl contender, surely giving up like a 5th, 6th pick swap is worth it to have a defensive leader and star on your team. So, yeah, I'm not sure internally. I think if everyone's healthy and the stars align, they could be pretty good. But there's a chance that if Matthew Stafford gets one injury, if the offense isn't quite as good, if the defense can't handle the best defensive player in the history of football leaving their roster, it could be tough.
All right, so why don't we get into our predictions here? What we're going to do, it's only going to be about a minute or two per division, just so you know that we don't get carried away as we tend to do on this show.
This could be risky here this second.
This is risky. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway. So, predictions time. All right. So, the AFC, we'll start with the AFC East. All right, guys. The first time we did this in April, all of us picked the Dolphins to win. Okay. Then we revisited it in July, and Ziggy and I were on the Bills. Jack, you stayed on the Dolphins. Where are we now, a week away from the season? Jack, how about you first?
I'm staying on the Dolphins up top. I'm going to go Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Pats.
Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Pats. How about you, Ziggy?
I'm going to go Bills, Dolphins.
Oh, come on.
Jets, Patriots. I think it's going to be very close between those two teams. I'm not sold at all.
All right, so Jack with the Dolphins, Ziggy with the Bills. I can't believe I'm about to do this here.
Can you make a Dolphins sound first?
No, I never can. You know, I'm a big Josh Allen guy this year. I think he's going to have an awesome season. But I think I find myself buying into
the Jets suck.
Some of the Jets hype.
They're not going to the division.
Listen. The defense is top 2 in the league, possibly number 1. And Aaron Rodgers, if you believe in him, this offense should be really good. There's weapons all over the place. The offensive line, they need to get lucky. They need to get lucky with injuries. But if they do get lucky, I think this Jets team could be really, really good. And Buffalo has so many defensive guys who have left. Matt Milano's injured. The weapons are a little worse. Josh Allen can carry them. I'm going to go with the Jets. Everything screaming in my body saying this is wrong, stupid. But I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with them.
Could I add one addendum?
Please.
We're recording this on a Wednesday, August 28th. It looks like Gerard Mayo's announcing the week 1 starter tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m. If he announces Drake May, put the Jets in 4th, Patriots 3rd.
How about the AFC West, Jack?
I'm going to go the Broncos. I think Bo Nix is amazing.
Yeah.
You're starting going bottom to top, right?
Bottom to top.
Well, we know who's one. Chiefs are 1. I'm going to go with Vegas at 2. I actually love Vegas' offense. I'm not going to lie. I only got the Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers,
Devontae
Adams,
Zamir White.
Yeah.
We can go on.
I like Gardner Minshew. I'm going to go Vegas number 2. I'm going to go the Broncos. I like Bo Nix number 3. And the Chargers coming in 4th.
Wow. Justin Herbert in 4th?
I mean, he has nobody.
Good God.
I completely agree with Jack. Give me the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers.
That's a first.
Okay.
That's got to be a first.
Okay. All right. I'm going with the Chiefs followed by the Chargers, then the Raiders, then the Broncos. Guys, the Broncos stink.
The Chargers are ass.
The Chargers lost a bunch of players. They didn't replace any of them. They're in salary cap hell. Harbaugh needs time to implement. It's going to be a year. They'll be good in a year, but this is not their year.
What on earth do the Denver Broncos have? Please enlighten me, guys.
Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, Audric Estime,
Pat Surtain.
Hello,
heard of him?
Yeah. All right, you've named Pat Surtain. That is all I've heard so far.
Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix.
Justin Herbert's more valuable than that entire franchise.
Who do the Chargers? Who's on the Chargers? I don't even know.
They have Justin Herbert, and that's really
who's
on defense? On defense, you have Bosa, you have Mac, you have
who's Herbert giving the ball
James,
to?
Yeah.
Who's the running back for the Chargers?
I'd rather have Justin Herbert spreading it out to a bunch. Oh, he's going to wind up.
I'll tell you the Broncos have. They have year 2 Sean Payton,
Gus Edwards, Ladd McConkey, Josh Palmer, all these guys, Quentin Johnston. You know, I'm not super hyped about any of them.
Quentin Johnston?
I know. I'm not super hyped about any of them, but I'd rather have Justin Herbert spreading the ball out to those guys with Jim Harbaugh than Bo Nix in rookie year.
Can I make a prediction?
Please.
I seriously believe that Justin Herbert is the 2nd best Oregon QB in the AFC West.
What? Okay, that's ridiculous.
Look, we all agree on the Chiefs, but this Broncos hype. You know what? Maybe the Broncos are the overhyped. The Broncos stink.
They're not getting hyped.
No. But people are starting to believe in the Broncos because
So I'm not believing in them, to be clear.
Yeah, I have them coming 3rd.
They're not getting close to the playoffs.
People are watching Bo Nix in the preseason and getting excited. They're not good. And again, they're not supposed to be good right now. But are we seriously not putting the Broncos in last in the AFC West? Come on.
I'm not.
Chargers are worse than the Broncos.
All right. Let's move on to
Justin Herbert's probably going to get hurt again. He gets hurt every year and plays horribly when he's injured.
And if he gets hurt, it's over.
No, and I mean, no disrespect to him. Like, he's playing through broken ribs and stuff, but it happens every year.
Oh, if Bo Nix gets hurt, then we're looking at Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson. Like, we can play this game all day. What are we talking about?
Stidham's just as good as Bo Nix.
Bo Nix doesn't have the injury history.
You're right.
Herbert usually plays through most of his things.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking, but he's bad when he plays through them.
I'd rather have Justin Herbert with 2 broken ribs than Bo Nix healthy.
No way.
You saw Justin Herbert with 2 broken ribs. He wasn't good.
Okay, let's go with the AFC South. So Ziggy kind of shocked everyone when he picked the Titans to win the AFC South back in July. Out of nowhere. I listened back to our AFC South show, Ziggy, or our original prediction video in April. And when we got to the AFC South, you just go, this Titans team, they stink. and somewhere from April to July, you completely flipped the switch. So are you sticking with that prediction of the Titans winning the AFC South?
Not only am I sticking with it, the move to trade for Ernest Jones was a shrewd move by a franchise that's on the up and up. New coaching. Year 2, Will Levis. He's got a loaded offense around him. The defense should rebound. Yeah, I've got the Titans. Then I've got the Texans. Then I've got the Colts. Then I got the Jaguars. Actually, I'll swap that. Jaguars third, Colts fourth.
Okay. I think that's probably closer to right if you're going to go with the Titans winning.
No, I mean, look, and the reason it's not that I think all four of these teams are going to be close. I think this is a competitive division. People are completely counting the Titans out, and I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, no, the team's really good, and I made the mistake. I'll share with you guys in a little bit, but I did game by game predictions on the computer where you could legitimately predict the entire season. And it gets away from you when you start getting into a pattern of, okay, the Giants are going to lose every game, the Chiefs are going to win every game, and all of a sudden these records are out of control. The Titans are one of those teams where you just keep going loss, loss, loss. But if you look at their roster, if Levis is okay, and that's a big if, but if Levis is okay, they're a very talented team. I mean, the moves they made this offseason, what was it? Snead, they got a Awuzie, Ridley, like they completely changed the look of this team. Pollard, I like it, Ziggy. I mean, sorry, I don't like it, but I applaud it.
You understand it.
You respect it. Yeah,
I respect it. I think it's a fun prediction, and we're a Titans.
He still won't say he understands.
I also think it's possible too. I don't think it's impossible.
What about you, Jack? The AFC South.
Paul, if the Titans win the South, and Will Levis is healthy the whole year,
yeah, we're drinking coffee and mayo.
Would you lick mayo off my chest?
No.
All right.
No.
So
what? What?
My prediction for the AFC South is I'm going to go Houston number 1.
You just said they're the most overrated team in football, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
No, I said the Packers are.
I thought
you said the Texans were number 2.
And then you switched to the Packers.
Yeah,
so they're winning your division.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I think they're still kind of overrated. Like people are talking like,
fair. They're overrated as a Super Bowl contender, but
I also have Stroud in our keeper league, so I'm rooting for big.
So you're all in on the Texans. Other than that, you think they are way too overrated.
I think they're overrated, but I think they're good.
Let the man make his predictions in peace.
I'm sorry.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're like. I think they're a good team, but I mean the hype is a little
not world
much.
beaters.
Like,
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, you're good. Just lick me off my chest in the shower.
Have your moment.
I'm gonna go Houston number 1. I'm gonna go Jacksonville number 2. Well, this is very chalky. The Colts 3 and the Titans 4.
Titans 4. Okay, I think that's probably. I'm gonna go with the Texans. I was debating the Texans and the Jaguars for a while, and I wanted to pick Jacksonville because I've been high on them. I've been a defender of the Jaguars this entire offseason, but I do think Houston's just loaded, and that offense is going to be tough to stop. I don't expect much regression from CJ Stroud. The defense should actually probably get better, even though they had some big losses. They had some pretty big additions this year. Like Daniil Hunter was a monster last season. Him and Will Anderson is going to be scary. So I'm going to go Houston, then Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and then the Titans. Where all these teams could be a lot of fun to watch this year. But I just think Houston, this feels like a second-year leap coming from them. All right, the AFC North, Jack. You had the Ravens winning as of the last recording, I believe. So has that changed?
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel I just said Cincinnati is the biggest threat to Kansas City in the AFC. And I do firmly believe that. Like, I do think Burrow's probably the second best quarterback when healthy and when he's playing well in the AFC. I'm going to flip-flop the Bengals and the Ravens here. I'm going to go Bengals win the division. Pittsburgh still comes in second. Baltimore third. And Cleveland fourth.
Okay. Ziggy?
I've got the Bengals winning the division. The Steelers in second. The Ravens in third. See, I'm moving up on the Ravens.
You moved them up, yep.
And the Browns in fourth. I've been so unimpressed with the Browns this offseason. I think this franchise is just doomed.
I agree.
I had the Bengals, then the Ravens, the Browns, then the Steelers.
I think it's quite possible the top 3 teams this division make the playoffs.
Oh, it's very possible. It's actually what I had in my full season predictions, potentially. I'm going to go with the Ravens, though, in first. I'm going to flip them and the Bengals. I actually believe I had the Bengals as my Super Bowl champion in the April video. But I'm going to flip it. I'm going to have the Ravens taking over first place. Again, I don't want to doubt Joe Burrow, but regular season, Lamar Jackson, when he plays, wins, like 80% of his games in his career or something like that. The defense is just a lot better than Cincinnati's, who tends to get better as the season goes on. I know that Baltimore lost a lot, Ziggy, like you mentioned at the top of the show, but this team is still really, really good. The defensive leaders there between Hamilton and Roquan, I mean, it's a good team. So I'm going to go with the Ravens winning, and that's the AFC right there. Okay, so we'll do the playoff teams at the very end here. Let's get to the NFC. We all agreed that it was. Wait, did we all agree? No, we did not all agree actually here. So Jack, you had the Eagles last time, I believe, and then switched to the Cowboys. Where are you now?
I'm still in Dallas. Number one. I think they're just a little bit better of a team. Philly's still number two. I got Washington third and the Giants in fourth.
Giants in four. Robert,
I'm off the Cowboys. Eagles in first, Cowboys in second, then Giants, then Commanders. Seeing Kellen Moore bring motion into this offense in the preseason, they're going to be back to the 2022 Eagles in quick order.
You're funny, Ziggy. When we first did this, you go, the very first time we did these predictions, you go, yeah, either the Cowboys or the Eagles in first. And that was your prediction. You had no pick. You said Cowboys or Eagles, then Commanders and Giants.
Other two missed the playoffs, doesn't even matter. Yeah.
Okay. Now you have the Eagles. Jack, you said Cowboys, correct?
Yeah, Cowboys, Eagles, Washington.
I'm also going to go with the Cowboys. I think the Eagles wind up playing a lot better than they did. It's hard to be a lot worse than they were the second half of the season. But Dallas, McCarthy said it today. He said, when the hell did it get so easy to win 12 games in a season? They've done that 3 years in a row. There's a lot of drama in Dallas because they're not doing a lot. Contracts aren't being negotiated that should be done by now, but I think that this team is just too talented. So I'll go with the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, then the Giants in the NFC East. The NFC West, 49ers?
No, I got the Cardinals, actually.
Cardinals?
I'm going to music. No, I got the Niners in first, then I got the Rams. Last one, I'm going to go Seattle, Arizona.
Seattle and Arizona. Okay. Ziggy? Potentially any of your teams there? I know you've been big on the Cardinals, former Rams guy.
49ers in first, Cardinals in second, Rams in third, dumpster fire Seahawks in fourth.
Yeah, I think we're being unfair to the Seahawks. They've been...
I am being unfair. This team's a dumpster fire. It's a load of garbage. Fire. They aren't going to do anything this year. I can't... There's only one team you can really get me emotional about in the NFL. I can't stand the Seahawks. But I do think this team's just plain not going to be good this year. That is true.
I think that this is going to sound mean. I think Seattle's a little irrelevant in that they could show up to the playoffs. They could be a wild card and they'll just get trounced in the first round. But they'll be in the hunt throughout the season. This team, the defense could take a big step under Mike McDonald, and then the offense is fine with Geno, DK Metcalf, JSN should take a little bit of a leap. Kenneth Walker. Actually, I'm starting to talk. The more I talk about Seattle, the more I like them. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Then the Rams just edge out the Seahawks, and the Cardinals coming fourth. Despite the Cardinals are starting to get a little bit of hype, believe it or not. I'm going to say slow down. They still come in last this year in the NFC West. All right, the NFC South right now. Your Buccaneers, Jack.
I feel like I have to. I think the Falcons are going to win it.
Well, who do you want?
But
who do you want? It's your pick.
I'm going to put the Bucs in first. I did it last year. People were shocked, but it came to fruition. So I'll do it again. I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield. I got the Falcons in second, Saints in third, Panthers in fourth.
Okay. Don't come crying if the Falcons win.
I won't.
Ziggy?
I'm not a Falcons, Bucs, Panthers, Saints. Not a lot to say here.
Me as well. I agree with you there. Okay, the NFC North. Our bread and butter here. Would you like to go
I thought you were going to say a little bit. It's my fault. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears.
Okay. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. Nice to get a little Vikings love here. Ziggy?
Paul,
potentially some Vikings.
Sometimes a team just has that dog in them.
There we go.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you just look at a team, you say, this is loaded with guys that just want to win. Now, the Lions are one of those teams, which is why they're in first. But the Vikings are also one of those teams. But that's not enough to put them in second because you can't just get what you want. The Packers are in second. The Bears are in third. The Vikings are fourth.
Okay.
But they'll really want to win.
A lot of people
try really hard.
Are starting to pick the Packers over the Lions here in this spot. And for good reason. The Packers are a team that are easy to get excited about. There's a lot of young players that should be emerging. A quarterback who is on superstar watch, I'd say, for this season. I kind of like that, superstar watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd put Jordan Love on superstar watch. It's with CJ Stroud, maybe. I still think the Lions are arguably the most complete team in the NFL. A couple questions in the secondary, but they have a lot of guys who could fill in those starter roles throughout this season nicely and emerge. And then, of course, receivers, a question mark. But when you have an alpha like Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're able to get by. And Sam Laporte is good enough at tight end, or very good at tight end. So you could get by with the weaker depth at the receiver position. And look, if Jameson Williams becomes something, like watch out for this team because their running backs are already off the charts. So I'm going to go with the Lions, then the Packers, the Vikings, and then the Bears is my NFC North.
You know what separates me with 3 and 4, the Vikings and the Bears? Minnesota has better quarterback play. Simple as that.
Here we go. Yeah, the Vikings are underrated in that the roster as a whole is not that bad. The defense is actually better than people think as well. With Brian Flores in year 2, they made some upgrades. Part of losing Kirk Cousins, the benefit was, you could go and accumulate Grenard and Van Ginkel and bring in and Stephon Gilmore now. So they've actually made quite a few upgrades where if Sam Darnold performs, would it shock me?
Yeah, if Sam Darnold is a top 5 quarterback in football like Kirk Cousins was when he's healthy last year, I think this team will be pretty good.
He doesn't need to be top 5 for the Vikings to be good. He just can't.
Top 7.
Give me top 15 Sam Darnold, and the Vikings can be okay this year. They're not going to win the North probably, but they can compete.
They just want Lee Corso,
not
so fast. Not
so fast.
Well, let's wrap up these predictions.
All right, so let's finish this off here. First, who do you guys have winning MVP on the season?
Russell Wilson. No. Jared Goff. Jared Goff.
So there's only one player you can be justified in picking, and his name is Patrick Mahomes. He's the best player in the league at the most valuable position by a pretty wide margin. Yeah,
I would like to pick Josh Allen, but if I don't have the Bills winning the division, he's not winning the award. So I'll go. It's so chalk, but I'm going Mahomes as well.
It's hard to pick against him.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against him. Okay, playoff seeding, and then we'll get our Super Bowl predictions, and we'll move on to the cap of the week. The playoff seeding here.
Playoff seeding.
Okay, so Jack,
all right, I'm ready.
AFC first. Jack, your winners were the Dolphins, Chiefs, Texans, and Bengals.
Yeah, so I kept
seed them.
Okay. I'm gonna go Chiefs at 1 because they just always seem to do that. Well, except for last year, I guess. And I put Miami at 2.
Okay.
The Bengals at 3.
Chiefs, Dolphins, Bengals. Then you have the Texans at 4.
I'm going to go Houston at 4.
Let's hear those wild card teams.
I'm going to go the 5 seed Pittsburgh. I'm going to go 6 the Jets.
Wait, do you have the Bills over the Jets?
Right, yeah, sorry. 6 the Bills. 6 the Bills.
Okay.
7, I don't know. 7, I guess I'll go the Jets at 7.
And the Jets at 7. All right, Chiefs, Dolphins, Bengals, Texans, division winners, then the Steelers, the Bills, and the Jets. So lock it in for Jack. Ziggy, AFC playoffs.
I've got Chiefs, Bengals, Titans, and Bills as division winners. I think the Titans are the weakest of those, but their schedule will offset with the Bills, so they'll finish ahead.
Okay.
Then the 3 wild cards I got.
Chiefs, Bengals, Titans, Bills.
Yep, and that's my 3 wild cards. I've got the Texans, the Ravens, and the Raiders.
Texans, Raiders. Wow. Okay.
I think this Raiders team is in a position to sneak into that 7 spot. They've got, as Jack said, they have quite a bit of talent on the team. They've got a winnable schedule in a division that I don't think will profile too tough. And they've shown they know how to apply Jordan rules to Patrick Mahomes. This team can play.
I just had Baltimore missing the playoffs, whereas I'm pretty sure the last time we did this, I had them in the Super Bowl.
Hey, that's the beauty of doing these predictions. It changes. All right, I'm going to have the Chiefs, then the Ravens, the Jets, and the Texans, 1 through 4. The Bengals as my 5 seed, the Bills as the 6. I mean, those are some great playoff matches. Lamar versus Lamar, or who's it going to be? It'll be the Jets versus the Bills here. So Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow. Then the 7, I think that this game will actually come down to the Dolphins going to the Browns week 17. Could be a huge game for wild card implications. I believe the Browns win that game because that just seems like a disaster spot for Miami.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
However, for producer Zach, I'm going to put the Dolphins.
That time it's cold too.
Yeah, it's cold. It's Cleveland. The fans are going crazy. Myles Garrett will have like 7 sacks. Tua will throw 3 interceptions.
It's like 33 to 7.
For producer Zach, I'm going to put the Dolphins in as the 7 seed, making 3 AFC East teams playoff teams this year. And that's my AFC playoff prediction right there. Let's go to the NFC here, guys. Now, and remember here, I meant to say this off the top of the playoff thing. There are an average of nearly 7 new playoff teams per season. Once they've moved to 14 teams, with a minimum of 6 new teams each year over the past 4 seasons. So we're looking to get 6 new playoff teams in. And right now, Jack, you are at the Jets 1.
Can I actually swap the Jets for the Ravens?
Sure.
So now you're at 0.
So now you're at 0.
What do you mean with 0?
0 new playoff teams this year. There's an average of 6.
Okay.
There's an average of 6 total.
Oh.
Ziggy, you're at the Bengals, the Titans, and the Raiders. So you're at 3. All right, well done. You're on track. And I am at the Jets.
Well, I have the Bengals in the playoffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. You do. My bad. Oh, yeah, and so do I. All right, so you got 1, Jack, and I have the Jets and the Bengals. So I have 2 right now. The NFC. Jack, you had the Cowboys, 49ers, Bucks, and Lions winning the division. Who else you got?
So I'm going to go Niners at the 1 seed.
Okay.
I'm going to go Detroit at 2.
Yep.
Dallas at 3.
Cowboys.
Tampa at 4. I'm going to go Green Bay at 5. Philly at 6. 7's where I get a little torn up. 7 Atlanta. 7 Atlanta.
So that gives you 2 new playoff teams on the season and 2 NFC South teams getting in. All right. Ziggy, you're let's see if you could get to this magic number of 6 here.
I'm going to keep this nice and simple. 49ers, Eagles, Lions, Falcons for my 4 division winners.
Okay.
Cowboys, Packers, Cardinals.
Wow.
So it's not the magic number of 6, but it's 5. It's pretty close.
Yeah, that is good right there. Okay, so you got the new teams. You have the Falcons getting in and the Cardinals. Sheesh. All right.
I like the team.
Arizona, man.
Ziggy, I saw a Cardinal in my backyard today.
Ooh, that's
That might
cap
mean
of the week
something.
magic right there.
That might mean
That could be
something.
cap magic. All right, and for me, I'm gonna have this is another game. I think when the Lions go to San Francisco at the end of the year, will be a battle for the 1 seed.
It's just in Detroit.
I think Detroit's been waiting for this game all year. I think that by this point, Detroit will be circling this game all season. I think they win in San Francisco. I think they win in San Francisco and get the 1 seed. I'm going to go Lions 1, 49ers are the 2. Then I'll put the Cowboys at 3. The Falcons, the Falcons get the 4. Eagles at the 5. Packers at the 6. And then I'd really like to put the Rams here or someone, but in my prediction thing that I did, the Vikings were 1 game out, but I had the Bucks going back. It feels so wrong. It feels like the Bucks should really regress and be maybe a 7-win team, but somehow I have them there.
Go Bucks.
So I'm going to go Bucks. I'll have the Bucks at 7. Okay, so there are playoff teams. Now just give me your Super Bowl here. If you want to talk to your NFC, your championship games, go for it. But
No,
give me
just Super Bowl.
I'll give the bowl. I'm going to go Bengals beat the Lions.
Bengals over Lions. Okay. So the Joe Burrow wins.
I think this is time for Joey Cool to get
So as a
it
true Steeler fan, you go from the Ravens winning to the Bengals winning.
Hey, pick a bet with the head, not the heart. Took a long time for me to realize that.
How about you, Ziggy?
Chiefs over Cowboys.
Chiefs over Cowboys.
Yeah, even though the Cowboys are 5th, I think they're finally going to make it to the NFC Championship game and win.
We them boys.
Chiefs over Cowboys. Okay. And then I'm going to have. I think that this is so boring.
Just
I think
go for it.
I think the Lions are going to play the 49ers in the championship game, but San Francisco gets them back.
Okay, a little
in the
revenge spot.
championship game. And then I'll have the 49ers avenging their loss to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, preventing the three-peat, and 49ers win their first Super Bowl. So there you go.
You say the 49ers win their first Super Bowl?
Sorry, not first Super Bowl. I mean, like, of this group. My bad. 49ers win
their sixth Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I mean, of this group. Like, they've been getting so close for so long.
Shanahan.
Ziggy, I'm sorry. You said Chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ziggy's got the three-peat. Jack, you have the Bengals, and I have the 49ers winning the Super Bowl this season. Why don't we, without further ado then, head over to the cap of the week? It's finally that time.
Is it actually
It's
time?
been, how many weeks has it been since the cap of the week?
Well, what was the last cap of the week was what? It was Auburn against Alabama in the Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
With Auburn, I had Auburn outright. So I lost.
We're going to count that as a win because it was some BS that Bama.
Yeah, I mean, that was absurd.
So that was what? Was that December
November
2nd? November 25th?
Yeah. November 25th. Yeah, somewhere around Thanksgiving.
So it's been like a good 25, 30 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe it's time. College football's back. Looking for signs all year long. Got a little buzz going now. I was playing Die beforehand with my brother and his friends. So I'm feeling pretty good for this Friday Junior. College football's back. It's my specialty. Gonna dish out a few picks for my old coworkers at Sports Creed who are listening to this episode. I told them that the cap is back, so I like West Virginia against Penn State plus the 8 at home, and Florida to beat Miami in the swamp outright. But God didn't lead me towards those.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me take this Wisconsin hat off because
that's not the cap.
Disaster right here. Watching Jack try to put on some headphones.
It can't be that hard, man.
No, I'll just leave them on.
You want help? Yeah, here.
Can I just leave them off?
This is how you do it.
Like, do I have to put them on? I can just leave them off, right?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
See how easy that was?
So Wisconsin's not my cap. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. So guys, the other day, here it is, 2024, baby. The other day it was a Sunday. It was a lazy Sunday, right? And weekend was busy. Had a busy Friday, busy Saturday, so I was just chilling on Sunday. And I throw on the TV with my mom and my brother, Jeff, and we come across The Breakfast Club. John Bender, Molly Ringwald, of course.
Where is this?
One of the best. John Bender, that's funny. John Bender, yeah. So it's great. I mean, fantastic movie.
Oh, we just say this.
And so we were watching it, and I came to the realization that I love this movie and some of the life lessons you take out of it and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. And only my second or third time ever seeing it. It was on this past Sunday. Now the director of the movie The Breakfast Club, he's a man named John Hughes. So without John Hughes, there's no Breakfast Club. And then I'm not enjoying my movie on the couch on a nice Sunday. Now, John Hughes was born in Lansing, Michigan, about 4 miles from Michigan State University. And I'm like, there it is, folks. Kicking off 2024 with Michigan State. This is Sparta! Minus 13.5 on a Friday night in East Lansing. Give me those Spartans.
Michigan State was the first team I was a fan of.
Michigan State?
Seriously.
Really?
All right.
So it's
I still got a youth small Michigan State basketball jersey.
Fantastic.
Thank you, John Bender. Thank you, John Hughes. Hail Sparty. Michigan State, one of the better QBs in the country, over from Oregon State. Aiden Shaw.
Jack, don't try and justify this pick. Just ride with it.
You had to come to. What is currently the line?
So at minus 13.5. I got a minus 13.5.
13.5. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Michigan State. There you go. If you want to make some money this weekend, you should probably bet on Michigan State.
It's a Friday night in East Lansing.
I wouldn't say that. If you think that if you want to follow Jack,
yeah,
you can follow Jack.
I'm listening to me say it. I'm like, wait a sec. Well, we have no sports book following us, so there's no repercussions here. Jack's
Don't gamble on sports, folks. Don't do it.
If you guys like the Breakfast Club, take Michigan State minus the points.
If you like the Breakfast Club. Yeah. Follow Jack's signs. All right. So there you have it. The first cap of the week, MSU to beat FAU this weekend. And of course,
what even is FAU? Like
Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Florida Atlantic.
Hey, dude, that's a fun place to be. We've been on the Avenue before. Are you kidding me?
We have. He's like, shut up.
Are you kidding me? The Avenue? I'm excited for Notre Dame, Texas A&M this weekend. You're staying off that, right?
No, I'm on A&M.
Is it reasonable, Ziggy? I said I don't want to watch the game with Jack and Mike and Zach if they're all betting on Texas A&M.
No, it'd be miserable.
Yeah, A&M's going to run to the end zone. I'll have to hear. That's Chris Fowler's doing that game, right?
Yeah, so
him and Herb Street, I'm going to hear Fowler being like, "Oh, A&M again."
When I take my Michigan State winnings Friday, I'll put on A&M on Saturday. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna hightail it down and watch with our friend Vince, who we went to ND with.
You can watch it with me.
Yeah, maybe I'll just hightail it all the way down to Virginia and watch the game with you. Oh, look, if ND wins. One quick thing, then I'm wrapping this up. Ziggy mentioned, and this was interesting, Jack. Ziggy mentioned being the 5 seed might actually be the position you want to be in this year's college football.
You're not getting the 5. Obama's the 5.
Well, if Notre Dame's undefeated,
if Notre Dame's undefeated, they're getting the 5.
I still think Bama's the 5.
If Notre Dame's undefeated, I think they're in a.
But you won't be. You're gonna lose A&M.
Let's assume Notre Dame's undefeated. Just here's what you actually have to do if you're in the 5, right?
Go ahead, yeah.
First, you host the best group of 5 team. It's probably Memphis. So home game versus Memphis. Then you just have to beat Miami or Virginia Tech or the ACC winner at a neutral site. That's it. Now you're in the semifinals. You win one game against whoever the 1 seed is, right? Some garbage Georgia team or whatever. Yeah. Now you're in the championship. Boom, free money. Coin flip, you win. Notre Dame national championship. Go Irish.
You know, I don't hate the 5 seed is not bad to have logic. Because you get a home game, then it's all neutral fields. Like I don't.
And you get a home game against the worst team, the 12th team in the country.
You play the worst power for the winner.
I'm on the clock now, live in the fantasy draft. I had Bijan Robinson. It's a 12-team league. I have Mike Evans.
This show is spiraling out of control.
Mike Evans, Pittman, Drake London, Rashad White, Malik Neighbors, James Cook. Any Metcalf? Anyone like anyone?
I like Neighbors a whole lot.
Neighbors is so risky with the second pick.
I kind of just zoned out.
He's gonna get attention. What do you want from him?
Oh, I'm gonna have some fun and go Neighbors. Oh, I hate that.
What a why would you were at 7? You took Malik Neighbors at 7?
No. In the second round.
Yes, that's a fine pick.
That's a terrible pick. No, it's a good pick.
No, I don't know.
Do you have any Spartan fans that are listening to us?
We'll call it an episode here. Thanks everyone for listening. We will see you next week. Football is back and rolling. It's crazy, but we're gonna have our week 1 preview episode is the next one coming out. And just remember, you can join our Pigskin Pick'em Challenge. If you become a member, we'll be putting out member community posts sharing the username and password to join. And we can't wait. We are very, very excited to get going with everybody. All right. We'll see you guys next time.